crystal ball and go through all the big footy issues in rapid fire. And Adam, I will start off asking you, can the Northern Saints survive in Premier Division playing no defence whatsoever?
Okay, I've crunched some numbers, Teo, and it's quite bizarre, to be honest, exactly how these games are playing out at the moment. I don't know what's going on down at Charles Martin Reserve, but it is certainly entertaining. Probably not for Matt Caruso and the boys down there at the moment, because they haven't had the opportunity to sing the song just yet, but certainly from an outside perspective, it's quite remarkable what is happening in some of these games at the moment, Teo. They have not scored a score under 80 points this year. They have scored at least 80 in every game so far, remembering they're 0-6 so far this season, but at the same time, they have not given away under 100 points. They have given away a ton in every single one of those losses so far this year. I also looked back on 2013, Teo. They absolutely blitzed Division 1 that year, playing that run and gun style football. It was scintillating footy to watch, Teo. We enjoyed it immensely, and it was certainly good enough to get the job done in Division 1. But coming up to Premier this year, I think they've realised that going one way perhaps isn't quite going to cut it. Here are some average goals for and against, Teo, 2013 versus 2014. Last year, they were only giving away just over 12 goals a game, and they were scoring nearly 19 a game. That's average in 2013. Compare that to this year, they're giving away over 20 goals a game and only scoring under 14. So it's quite a remarkable turnaround, but those numbers, especially the 20 against average this year, that's a very, very high number, and that's going to be cause for a lot of concerns. I'm sure they're trying to address it at the moment, Teo, but it's not going to be good enough to survive in Division 1, in the Premier Division.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Adam. I think Duda Stars are coming good, and the Northern Saints can't rely on just targeting Dudas and trying to beat them head-to-head, or just beat them once and then bank on Dudas not beating anyone else and then trying to survive with one win and do it on percentage, because quite simply their percentage is going to get blown away. If they're conceding these huge scores, I think it's more than 340 points in the last 2 weeks, their percentage is going to go in one direction, and Duda Stars, with some of these narrow losses, are going to have their percentage improve, even if they're not breaking through for wins. But I get the feeling that something defensively needs to change at the Northern Saints. I'm not sure if it will. And while there is something to be said for going down, playing a certain style, and perhaps the captain's going down with their ship, I think the ship is going down at the moment, unless they can nick a win from somewhere, or perhaps midwinter forces them to change their game style, and Mud perhaps has to say in the run and gun style that they like to employ down at Charles Martin.
They go to Clifton Park and Lebanon Reserve in the next 2 weeks, Teo, so 2 very tough games against Aberfeldy and Strathmore. But then the draw does open up. They've got that clash against Essendon Duda Stars, and that'll be at home at Mutton Reserve. And then the return fixture against Pascoe Vale at home. They only lost by 12 points at Paco in round 1. They're 2 games that are going to be absolutely vital to their relegation and survival chances in Premier. Teo, my turn to ask you, and we go to Essendon Ford at Division 1. Will Oak Park be out of the relegation mix come Queen's Birthday weekend?
Well, Adam, they've got 3 huge games coming up. They've got the promoted team Hillside at home. They've got Craigieburn, who only have the 1 win at home. And then they head to Hadfield, also only the 1 win, and that is away. These games are massive. I liked what I saw of Oak Park at the weekend. A lot of their better players were only playing in their 2nd or 3rd game of the season after either coming out of retirement in the case of David Whitmer or coming back from injury in the case of Jesse Hemmons. So I think that their match winners will get a little bit of form and fitness back under the belts, and I can see them winning 2 out of 2. I can possibly even see them beating Hillside this weekend and winning 3 out of 3. And 3 wins might already be enough to get out of the clutches of Craigieburn and Hadfield, although those head-to-head games are crucial. And I tell you what, Oak Park would want to win at least 1 of them, if not 2 of them, to really separate themselves from the relegation struggle. Adam, how do you think they're going to go, culminating in that blockbuster, the standalone Saturday game on Queen's Birthday weekend?
I think they're going to only perhaps win 1 of those next 3 games. A little bit of history, in fact, this weekend against Hillside. It'll be the first time a promoted Division 2 club plays against a club that was in Premier the year before, the year they won Division 2. So that's a little bit intriguing in itself, just to see how Hillside compares to a club that was in Premier last year. I don't think they're going to win that, though, Oak Park. They can rate themselves a good chance against Craigieburn and Hadfield. Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Hillside. I think they only win 1 of those 3 games. So my answer is no, they're still going to be in the relegation mix by that Hadfield game.
All right, time to look into the crystal ball, Adam. Predict an upset, sniff an upset. Maybe if you really like one, guarantee an upset. Where are you looking for a big result this weekend?
I'm only sniffing an upset this week because my form has been absolutely horrible in this particular segment in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully I'm not mozzing anybody. But I'm going to go with Taylor's Lakes. I reckon they're a good chance against Tullamarine. It's going to be very tough, obviously. The game is in Tulla, but it's the kind of game where Taylor's Lakes are outside the top four at the moment. They are well deserving of being inside the top four. I know they certainly feel like they deserve to be in the top four, and this is the kind of game where they can really make a statement. It's going to be a lot closer than perhaps a lot of people think. Not all that confident, and I can't guarantee that they'll win, but wouldn't be surprised if they can sneak away with the 4 points come Saturday night.
Interesting you say that, Adam, because Ash Manning, instead of going and looking at his next opposition, or he might have been there for part of the game, but we definitely know that he was at Glenroy, watching Glenroy and Oak Park last week in Tullamarine's bye week. So do you think he may rue the missed opportunity to go and watch Taylor's Lakes in person?
He was a towering figure in that Glenroy huddle at three-quarter time as well. So yeah, he didn't go unnoticed by us in the commentary box, Teo, that's for sure. Yeah, maybe he was looking at Taylor's Lakes earlier in the day. So perhaps not too surprised, though, because we know that Glenroy is highly rated.
Well, Adam, I tipped Pascoe Vale to beat Greenvale in the footballer this week, but that's not the upset I'm going to go for right here, because I reckon I'm just sniffing a bit of Maribyrnong Park revenge. They were right back in the mix to bridge the gap to finals last week, and then in the space of one game, they've gone and thrown it away by losing to Pascoe Vale. The pride has been stung, and even before I see the VFL clearances, I reckon they are a chance to challenge Keilor. Everyone around the league has been saying Keilor have got to prove themselves against the top teams, and they've got to show a bit more than just winning the first five. Well, I think that this is one of those crunch games. Keilor have got to be on their guard, and I think Maribyrnong Park, who will be stung into action by that Pascoe Vale defeat, could very well be a chance for an upset. That's it for EDFL Web TV this week. But before we go, you're seeing on your screen right now Trav Julich, the captain of the Glenroy Football Club. He was our Sporting Globe Player of the Day, and right there in his hand is the $40 voucher to spend at 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds. Adam, one of those vouchers will be up for grabs for our Player of the Match in our game for broadcast this weekend. And as we just saw with the graphic coming into this segment, it is Roxburgh Park for the very first time on EDFL Match of the Day up against East Keilor. Let's get your final thought on who's going to win and why.
Can't wait for this one, Teo. Could well be a grand final preview for Division 2 and arguably the best and biggest game ever played in Division 2. That is how big this game is going to be. Can't wait to see how Roxy goes against the favourite in East Keilor. The social media networks you can follow are up on your screen right now. Don't forget the Facebook, and we are so close to 4,000 likes. So if you know anyone who's part of the EDFL or a follower of the league, get them to like, because hopefully we'll be up to 4,000, maybe even by the time you watch this video. We've got the Instagram there, which is hugely popular, Twitter as well, and don't forget essendondfl.com.au, the official website of the league, and also Team App if you want to hear Northwest FM commentary, but you are out of range for 98.9 on your regular radio. Just get Team App. It is absolutely free, and you'll be able to get the Northwest FM commentary by tapping the live radio button. Adam, thanks again for a bumper edition of EDFL Web TV. Yeah, it's been a big one, Teo, but a big weekend coming up. I'm Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company, and don't forget, support our sponsor, Sporting Globe, 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds, the home of EDFL Web TV. Enjoy your weekend of football, and we'll see you next time.